Hey everyone! Thanks for tuning in to Amber Lynn's Artistry Shop. Today I'm going to show you a continuation of my basic makeup application. As you can see here, my face is already done with the concealer and the foundation. I did go ahead and do my fill in my eyebrows ahead of time. This video thing is a little new to me, so I couldn't look at the computer and try to get my eyebrows exactly how I wanted them. Now, they may seem a bit dark to you, but I like them a little bit more shapely and to match my hair. To do this, I used a brow brush to do this, if you can see this. And this is actually from Eco Tools. You can get this from e.l.f. or anybody else. And basically, I used it to shape how I wanted it to be and filled it in. And just like everything else I keep telling you, a little bit and then adding on. You don't want to put too much on, then you have to get your makeup remover and start all over, and that's just too much. So, let's get started. I actually like eyeshadow a lot. Now, some people put too much on and it looks like you're selling the eyeshadow, and that's really not the idea. But I'm going to show you one of my more deeper favorite looks that I have. So, most of the makeup that I'm going to be using is actually from the Artistry Essentials makeup kit, which comes with a starter kit of a little bit of everything for you to try. If this is something that you are interested in, it is much cheaper than buying everything individually. So let's get started. Let me see what I want to start with. This brush right here is an Essentials crease brush. As you can see here, take some practice getting used to this, but basically this is going to go right into this area here. So I am going to lightly tap it into my crease color that I want, and lightly feather it how I want it to be. And you can add a little bit more if you want, but I like to feather it out just a little bit. Now I will say, I am putting my makeup on a tad heavier than what I normally do, just so it shows up more onto the camera. And I'm actually not pressing down very hard. You don't want to do that. Pushing down on your eyes and stretching them is what causes crow's feet and wrinkles. Your eye is actually very, very delicate. It's one of the most delicate places actually on your body. And you need to take care of that. So just tap it in here lightly. Make sure that's feathered. So as you can see my crease color. And now I am going to, let's see, where is my Eco Tools? Can't talk today. But you can see this right here. This brush helps me get into much tighter corners that I want to get into. So, pick my next color, a little bit darker, get a little closer here. And I just, a little bit goes a long way, especially when you're going to be using a darker color when you're going into the corners of your eyes. I like to come in like this with it. Now it seems a little rough at first, but I'm actually going to take the crease brush that I just had, and that's actually going to blend it in. This is very interesting, I must say, doing this from your computer. I'm sure that there are plenty more options or other ways to do this, but I guess you learn, right? So as you can see, circular motions here, and then I'm just blending it in just Now if you want and it's not blending in, you can actually take this feather brush and dip it just ever so lightly into the color that you're creasing, just so it blends. I actually like, the reason why that I go into here is the way that my eyelids are shaped. I don't like using eyeliner, because when I do the eyeliner, it makes like my entire lid disappears. And then that kind of like defeats the whole purpose of all the pretty colors that I use. So, alright, let's see here. And try not to add too much on your brush, because then you'll get a lot of fallout. And if you don't know what fallout means, basically what happens is when you put too much, it starts to fall down in here, and then that can cause issues when you try to wipe it off, especially if you try to wipe it with your fingers. Blends in, and then it gets the dark circles back under there, and dark splotches, and it kind of defeats the whole purpose of the concealer. Sometimes, most of the time, I guess I should say, I usually put on my eyeshadow before I put my concealer and foundation on. It just really depends on which type of eyeshadow that I'm placing. Try to see here if it's even just a bit. Now if you don't want to use this to go into the corner, you can go back and use the brow brush. And then what I also like to do is come in with this crease color, just lightly blending it in here. Only on the corners. I don't go through the whole bottom of the eye, because then it looks darker. And typically, I mean, some girls can get away with it. I can't. But when you wear eyeliner, if you wear eyeliner on the top, you shouldn't wear eyeliner on the bottom, and vice versa, unless you're really, really going for a very dramatic eye. In my case, I love to, but I try not to, because it really does bring out the dark circles that I have, since I have very dark raccoon-like eyes. And you know, I just love makeup. Oh, so shouldn't do that, but I do. But that's just typically a rule of thumb. So I'm going to find this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm still going to be using this brush. It's like a universal brush for me, it is. I'm absolutely certain that they probably have 1,000 different brushes for you to use for 1,000 different ways, but my methods are trying to make things a little bit more simpler for the people who just want to put their makeup on and just get going for the day. And I found that the Eco Tools and the Real Technique brushes are very affordable and they work. So the next step now is I'm actually going to put a light color here and then blend up here. So I'm going to take and then I'm just gonna gently put it on. Now if you're a little tired, you can put a very light color just a little bit on the corners of your eyes, and this makes your eyes look wider and more awake. Now, depending on the shape of your eyes will determine how differently you might do this. Some people have hooded eyes, which basically means they show more up here than they do of their actual lid, so you won't be able to do so much as this liner that I did. You'll have to cut in a lot differently. Everybody's eyes are shaped differently. The concept is very much the same though. I'm going to take my crease brush, blend this out. Okay, and the same thing for the other side. Now you may not like this look in particular, but this is me. And as much as I love colors, drives my husband bonkers. If I could, I'd go out with blues and pinks, and on occasion I do. But, you know, the whole object is you're not trying to sell the makeup, you're just trying to enhance your features as it is. Now you can see that I'm coming up in here with this light color. This isn't something natural, you know, that you have to do, but because I have such dark eyes and circles, I use it, not too much now, to brighten my eyes up, because if it stays dark in here, it kind of gives the impression that I'm still with, you know, raccoon eyes, or I'm very tired. This helps brighten it up a bit. Now, one thing about brushes, they're great. Then I love them more than the applicators that come with your makeup, the sponges, your fingers. Okay, fingers is a big no-no if you can really help it. I mean, still wash your hands, like you saw me apply the concealer in my previous video, but you can get bacteria in your skin and you don't want that. Sponges, same thing, same concept as the sponges in your kitchen. After a while, bacteria starts to grow on it because it's moist, it's warm, it's cold, you know, bacteria kind of builds in that. So you have to replace those. Brushes, yes, you can get bacteria in them, but they're much more gentle on the face, and you should wash them once a week, okay? They do sell shampoos and that you can use for your brushes. I've had quite a few makeup artists themselves tell me that you can get away with using baby shampoo. But if you're going to be applying makeup to other people or clients, first off, you should never use your own brushes when doing this. And you just basically should have a completely different set. And you should be using real sanitizing type of shampoos and to make sure you're killing all the bacteria. Because believe it or not, we as humans carry a lot of bacteria, especially on our eyes. You should never, ever, ever share makeup. And, you know, eyeliner and mascara is like the biggest no-no. And lip gloss. You can spread mono and many other different styes. There's a lot of things that people don't realize that can be spread, no matter how clean the person may look. So I'm just going to go in. No, I'm talking too much, but lightly just try to blend it out, and there you go. That is my look. And then after this, I usually put my mascara on, which I use the Artistry mascara that they have. I love it. It's great. It's basic. But I'm not comfortable with trying to do that using the camera on my computer at the moment. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped. And for many of you that have been asking me what type of makeup I use and how I apply my makeup, this is how I do it. This is the basic of it. Sometimes I do things a little bit more extreme or very light. And I'll try to post more videos on how I do those different looks. But please leave me comments, let me know how I did and how you feel about it, and any questions that you may have about the tools that I use, the makeup that I use, or anything else for that matter. So, thanks! Bye-bye!